Welcome pre-cal students to the test 11 corrections. There are only 4 problems to look at. Y'all did amazingly well on this test. Very good grades. Each mistake was 3.7 points off, okay? So add up all of your mistakes, multiply it by 3.7, subtract from 100, and that should give you your grade, okay? Alright, one problem that people missed was number 2. Now if you will listen to me, if you missed number 2, I will help you. First of all, your numbers are 1, -3, 5, -7, 9, -11. I ask you to find the sum of the first 8 terms. Please listen to me. Let me help you. Some of you attempted to use this formula right here. Now the problem with that is I have taught you and taught you and taught you guys that you can only use this formula for an arithmetic sequence / series, okay? So you have to see if you have an arithmetic sequence or series, and you don't. Look guys, let's see if we're adding the same number over and over and over. For example, if these were my numbers, I would have an arithmetic series because I'm adding 2 over and over and over. So my common difference would be 2, okay? But up here, let's see if I'm adding the same number over and over. What do I have to add to 1 to get -3? I have to add a -4. So 1 plus -4 is -3. So let's add -4 again. If I add -4 again, -3 and -4, do I get 5? No, I get -7. Students, you are not adding the same number over and over. If you want to go from -3 to 5, you've got to add 8 to that number. If you take -3 plus 8, you get 5. If you want to go from 5 to -7, you have to add -12 to 5. 5 plus -12 is -7. These numbers are not the same. You do not have an arithmetic series or sequence, so you cannot use this formula. Okay, that's the first thing I want to show you, because there were quite a few of you that missed number 2. Try to use this formula right here. You can't do that because this is not an arithmetic series or sequence. So, having said that, what do we have here? Well, what we have is just 8 numbers we have to add together. Look for the pattern. The pattern is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So next would be 13. Next would be 15. Now the 1 was positive, the 3 is negative, the 5 is positive, the 7 is negative, the 9 is positive, the 11 is negative, the 13 is positive, the 15 is negative. I mean, look for the pattern. Write all 8 terms, add them up. Now one of you left out a 5. One of you went 1, 3, 7, 9, 11, 13, 17. No, you went 1, 3, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. And so obviously that's not going to work either. But if you add all of these up with a calculator, trust me, go ahead and take a calculator, add them all up, you'll get -8. Once again, you cannot use this formula. You cannot use this formula unless you have an arithmetic series or sequence. And you did not. Now number 3 here, same thing. I think some of you again might have tried to do that. Be careful. Here's what we have. Put a 1 in for n, a 1 in for n, and you get 0 over 4. Now we're starting at 1, we're going to 5. Next put a 2 in. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 plus 3 is 5. Next put a 3 in. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 plus 3 is 6. Next put a 4 in. 4 minus 1 is 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. Next put a 5 in. 5 minus 1 is 4. And 5 plus 3 is 8. Now, you do not have an arithmetic series or sequence. You do not. You're not adding the same thing over and over. Trust me. 0 over 4 is 0. So 0 plus 1/5 would give you 1/5. If you then took 1/5 and added 1/5 to it, you would not get 2/6. You do not have an arithmetic series or sequence. So you're just going to have to add them up using your calculator. And if you do that correctly, you will get 307 over 210, which some of you put as totally fine, or some of you put the decimal, which is totally fine, 1.46. Hope this makes sense, okay? Alright, number 9. Now, I think only one of you missed this, and I think the person that missed this missed the first term. But let's first of all do this. The 17th term, so I'm going to put 17th term is negative 40, okay? And way over here, the 32nd term is negative 73. Now notice, first of all, we're going down. We're at negative 40. As we go further to the right, we're going down into further negatives. So I should tell you right there, your common difference is going to be what? Negative. Next, what is the difference from negative 40 to negative 73? Think of a number line. Here's a number line. If you're at 0, if you're at negative 40, and then you're at negative 73, what's the difference from here to here? 33, because 40 plus 33 more would give you 73. So the difference is 33, okay? So I have 33. Now, what's the difference between these numbers right here from the 17th term to the 32nd term? What's the difference if you subtract those? 15. So you've got to take 33 and divide it, because the total gap between negative 40 and negative 73 is 33. Then divide that by how many terms you have is 15, and that will give you negative 2.2. Now, I already knew it was negative. If you want to say the difference between negative 40 and negative 73 is negative 33, that's fine. Okay, I don't care. Then divide it by 15, that's fine. I just said, you know what? I'm going from a negative 40 to a negative 73. It's got to be negative because I'm getting smaller. And then 33 divided by 15 is 2.2. Either way, that's the common difference, okay? Now we're going to find the first term. Okay, the first term. So let's think about this for a second. Now, students, in order to find the first term, let's think of our really good formula we like to use here, okay? And this formula is really, really helpful. Now, we know what the 17th term is, okay? Now, you can find the first term by doing it the long way. Here's the 17th term, and just count backwards, 16, 15, 14, and just keep, using your common difference of 2.2. Boy, that's going to take a while. Those students, I would not encourage you to do that, okay? That's one way. Another way is to take the 17th term and use this formula. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to go with the 17th term. So I'm going to say A subscript 17. So my N here is a 17. So my N here is a 17, okay? And by the way, that's wrong. Hold on 1 second. This is supposed to be A subscript 1 right here. So let me fix that. That is totally wrong. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the 17th term to help me find this first term. So A17 is negative 40 equals A subscript 1 plus 17 minus 1 is 16. 16, and my common difference is 2.2. Negative 2.2. Alright, now let me find my calculator here. If I take 16 times negative 2.2, I'm going to get negative 35.2. If you bring it over now and make it a positive, bring it over and make it a positive 35.2, you will get negative 4.8. Negative 4.8. So that's your first term, okay? Now, you say, Mr. Earhart, I wanted to use the 32nd term. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Let's use the 32nd term, okay? So here's my formula. Still the same old formula. This is N right here. That's N minus 1, okay? You want to use this 32nd term, fine. So we'll put a 32 here, and we'll put a 32 right here. And here we go. My 32nd term is negative 73. My A subscript 1 is what I'm looking for. 32 minus 1 is 31 times negative 2.2, alright? 68.2. Now bring the 68.2 over and make it a positive 68.2. And you're going to be left with negative 4.8, the exact same thing. So students, it doesn't really matter which term you use to help you find the first term. Either one of those would work, okay? Alright, moving on to number 12. Now, guys, there were 2 or 3 of you that made this mistake. It was kind of, I'm not being, trying to criticize, was a little discouraging. Because I know I went over this well in the videos. and your homework too, but look guys, okay, first of all, this is going to be really hard to do. It's going to take you a long time, like 20 minutes to do this problem, unless you first realize you do have an arithmetic sequence. Watch, okay? Let me show you. First of all, let's establish that. Let's establish the fact that we do have an arithmetic sequence. Put a 9 in for k, so 2000 minus 27 gives you 1973. Next, we'll put a 10 in, so 2000 minus 30 gives you 1970. Now we're going to put an 11 in. 2000 minus 33 gives us 1967. Next, we're going to put a 12 in. 2000 minus 36 gives us 1964. As you can see, we're adding a negative 3 over and over and over. So the first thing I want to show you is we do have an arithmetic sequence. So we can definitely use this formula right here to help us find the sum. Okay? We can definitely do that. Okay? In fact, we can do this pretty quickly here. I already know the first term is what? Let's see. The first term is 1973. And I got that. My first term, I put a 9 in. Then put a 51 in. So 2000 minus 3 times 51. Remember, guys, for the first term, you put a 9 in. Then you work your way all the way up to 51. Put a 51 in. That's your last term. And you would have, for this year, you would have 1847. Now, so when I put a 9 in, right here I got 1973. When I put 51 in, I got 1847. Now, students, think about it. Some of you are saying, oh, okay, I'm trying to find 51 terms. No, you're not. Not at all. You don't have 51 terms. You're starting at 9 and going to 51. Some of you are like, oh, I know what it is. 51 minus 9. We have 42 terms. And so some of you put a 42 right here for n. That is also wrong. Okay? That is wrong. Now, let me show you how many terms you have. I want to show you this by using a simpler problem, okay? Let's say I said n equals 3, and it goes up to 7. Got it? So, and let's say our nth term here is 2n, okay? So put a 3 in, you get out of 6. Put a 4 in, you get out of 8. Put a 5 in, you get out of 10. Put a 6 in, you get out of 12. Put a 7 in, you get out of 14, okay? So I put it, this is the third, I put a 3 in, I put a 4 in, I put a 5 in, I put a 6 in, I put a 7 in. Do you see that okay? Now, what's 7 minus 3? 4. So you think you have how many terms? 4, but how many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guys, I went over this in the video. I went over this in the homework. Whenever you're trying to see how many terms you have in sigma notation, you subtract these two numbers, then always add 1. So 51 minus, I just proved it to you right here if you don't believe that. Look right here. 7 minus 3 is 4. Yet there are how many terms? 5. I put in a 3, put in a 4, put in a 5, put in a 6, put in a 7. So you can take 51 minus 9. That's good. You're supposed to. And you get 42. But then add 1 to that, and you get 43. So it's S subscript 43 equals 43 over 2. And now we're ready, okay? If you take, let me look at my notes here. If you add these two together here, 1973 plus 1847, you're going to get 3,820. And then multiply that times 43 divided by 2. And you're going to get 82,130. Okay? Guys, I hope this test correction video has been a help to you. If you have any questions at all, never hesitate to call or email. Good job on your test. Really, really, really proud of you guys.